of Petron. As we move forward with the program, the federal government of Nigeria, through the Central Bank of Nigeria, says it will remain committed in ensuring the country remains self-sufficient in the production of staple foods. President Muhammadu Buhari and the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, recently launched mega rice pyramids in Abuja, which is the biggest in Africa, stressed that this present administration will ensure it alleviates poverty through agriculture. Emmanuel Aldu was there, and he completes the story.
The Central Bank of Nigeria's Aquaborers program started in November 2015 with the goal of providing aid to farmers and influencing the value chain of various commodities in Nigeria. The CBN has carried out interventions aimed at sustaining recovery of output growth and addressing downside risk to other external and domestic shocks to the economy. Interventions continue largely in manufacturing industries, agriculture, energy infrastructure, healthcare, and micro, small, and medium enterprises. Under the target credit facility, the bank has disbursed a total of 36.78 billion naira to 777,666 beneficiaries, comprising over 638,070 households and 128,649 small businesses. Under its agribusiness small and medium enterprise investment scheme, the bank has released over 134.63 billion naira to 37,571 entrepreneurs. Between November and December 2021, under the Aquaborers program, the bank disbursed 75.99 billion naira to support the cultivation of over 250 hectares of maize, sorghum, soya beans, and rice during the 2021 dry season, and 5.88 billion naira to finance 6 large-scale agricultural projects under the Commercial Agriculture Credit Scheme. Cumulatively, the bank has disbursed over 818 billion naira to 4.1 million farmers cultivating over 5.02 million hectares. The bank also disbursed a sum of 41.2 billion naira for the commencement of the Brown Revolution, a large-scale wheat program to win the country off imports by 35% in the first year. The celebration of the return of rice pyramids in Nigeria will not be complete without taking a retrospective look into the past, at a period where Nigeria had a preponderance of imported rice into the Nigerian market, with only 6 functional integrated rice mills and a national paddy output of about 4.5 million metric tons per hectare. The Nigerian rice industry was unattractive for both farmers and the millers. Production was at a substantive level and farmers had no access to critical farm inputs and credit. The demand-supply gap for milled rice was being met with imports of over 600 billion naira worth of rice annually. In 2015, when the Hako Boras program was introduced as a game changer for smallholder farmers financing, it created a dynamic ecosystem among all stakeholders to the provision of input, in-kind biometric identification of farms and farmers, extension workers, guaranteed market through well-established off-take contracts, and further linkages to the agro processors to ensure the transmissions of the grain from the primary production to other nodes of the value chain.
I am indeed delighted that the Emefiele'S program continues to receive commendations since its introduction 6 years ago, as it has become one of the reference points in the administration's agricultural revolution effort. In fact, the program speaks loudly in its giant strides, as it has increased access to finance by our rural farmers who, before now, were virtually excluded from the financial system. The Emefiele'S program has so far supported over 4.8 million smallholder farmers across Nigeria for the production of 23 agricultural commodities, including maize, rice, oil palm, cocoa, cotton, cassava, tomato, and livestock. Today, rice production in Nigeria has increased to over 7.5 million metric tons annually. Prior to the introduction of Emefiele'S program, the average production in Nigeria between 1999 and 2015 was less than 4 metric tons annually. I am aware that the bag is no doubt a testament to the fact that the Emefiele'S program is working. Indeed, these sky-high pyramids for which we are gathered here to commission are part of our commitment at achieving national food security and economic diversification through homegrown policies targeted at securing food for all Nigerians. As a critical policy of the government, the Emefiele'S program is expected to catalyze the agricultural productive base of the nation, which is a major part of our economic plan to uplift the economy, create jobs, produce resilience on imported food and industrial raw materials, and conserve foreign exchange. This has resulted in bridging our rice consumption gap, a significant production in rice imports, and saved us foreign exchange. The commissioning of these rice pyramids today is an indication that our country is making steady and assured progress towards self-sufficiency in food production, and it is my desired hope and expectation that other agricultural commodity associations that are yet to participate under the Emefiele'S program will emulate the Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria in supporting our administration's drive for food self-sufficiency. I would like to see this opportunity to commend the Central Bank of Nigeria for its recent efforts at resuscitating the Nigerian Commodity Exchange following my approval to do so. This has been done in the hope that our farmers can have ready buyers of their produce, thereby resolving the current logistical challenge of moving their produce from farm to markets. Let me also commend the Governor and the staff of the Central Bank of Nigeria, as well as the leadership of the Rice Association of Nigeria for the successful delivery of these pyramids, which hopefully is just the first of many that will be unveiled this year across Nigeria.
The Emefiele'S program has catalyzed the rural economy and has built a sustainable framework for financing smallholder farmers in Nigeria. The program has developed an ecosystem among all nodes of the agricultural value chain, and these linkages can be better optimized through synergy amongst all stakeholders. As at the end of December 2021, we have financed 4,489,786 smallholder farmers that cultivated 5,300,411 hectares of land across 21 commodities through 23 participating financial institutions all over the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT. We're delighted that these efforts have yielded fruit in not just increasing the availability of rice, but also in moderating prices, reducing imports, and increasing job creation in our country. For example, Thailand alone exported 1.3 million tons of rice to Nigeria in 2014. The Emefiele'S program was launched by Your Excellency in Kebbi in 2015 to curtail these imports, and since then, we have seen incremental reduction in rice imports from Thailand. By 2016, Your Excellency, rice imports from Thailand had fallen to just only 58,000 metric tons. As at the end of 2021, they only exported 2,160 metric tons of rice to Nigeria, thereby saving Nigeria foreign exchange and helping to preserve jobs for our people. Beyond increasing our national output from about 5.4 million metric tons in 2015 to over 9 million metric tons in 2021, we have also significantly improved the productivity per hectare of the smallholder farmers from just about 2 metric tons per hectare in 2015 to over 6 metric tons per hectare in 2021. These expansions have not only made Nigeria the largest food producer in Africa, but has also unlocked enormous private sector investments in the rice value chain as the number of integrated rice mills grew astronomically from 6 in 2015 to over 50 in 2021, and more are coming up, with many more in various stages of completion. Today, Your Excellency, Nigeria's milled rice matches the foreign rice in quality. Taking a cue from our success in rice value chain, we commenced the brown revolution last year as a mantra for the transformation of the wheat value chain in Nigeria. Wheat is the third most consumed grain in Nigeria after maize and rice. It is estimated that we only produce just about 1%, which is approximately 63,000 tons of wheat, of the 5 million or 6 million tons of wheat consumed annually in Nigeria. This enormous demand-supply gap is bridged by over $2 billion annual importation of wheat. As a result, wheat accounts for the second highest food import bill into Nigeria, thereby putting pressure on the nation's foreign exchange reserves. We have concluded the first major wet season wheat farming in Plateau State and planted over 100,000 hectares of wheat across 15 states in 2021 dry season alone. This strategic intervention will herald progressive reduction in our wheat imports bills over the coming years. We also established a strategic maize reserve with the stock of maize submitted as loan repayment by our farmers. What here was saying, when we give you seeds, fertilizer, inputs, and all that, we cost it. When it's time to pay, we don't ask you to give us naira. We collect the proceeds. We collect the produce from you, and we sell ourselves, thereby saving you the burden of going to the market to sell your produce. This will provide a buffer for price modulation for the poultry and feed mills nationwide. A total of 241,656 metric tons was aggregated in 2020 wet season and dry seasons out of which 217,200 metric tons has been disposed to 18 millers and poultry farmers through Poultry Association of Nigeria. The program was able to stabilize poultry and livestock sectors during the pandemic and saved the industry and consumers over 10 billion naira in raw material costs. Our experience over the years has been transformed to operational efficiency of the program. We have added several layers of controls to improve our transparency and accountability among all stakeholders. And what you are witnessing today, Your Excellency, is a demonstration of our growth and a strong indication of the enormous potential in the country's agricultural space. It is important to note that this is still a far cry from desired goals. We still have a long road ahead. However, the growth processes reaffirm our belief in the potential inherent in our agricultural space, and we can hopefully harness them to lead Your Excellency's diversification agenda of this economy. This rice pyramid being launched today, Your Excellency, represents aggregated paddy rice submitted as repayment of loans by Rice Farmers Association's farmers under our 2020 dry season and 2021 seasons. Beyond this event, it also symbolizes the efforts made by our farmers to commit to loan repayment through produce submission and ultimately ensure the sustainability of this program. To further create value and transfer these gains along the value chain, we have mapped millers to offtake these paddies, and we will track the release of their output to the markets as we strive to manage inflation and grow the rice value chain in our country.
Through the provision of quality inputs, good economic practices, and secured markets for offtake, productivity per hectare increased to an average of 4 to 5 metric tons. Integrated rice mill grew astronomically to over 50 in 2021, thereby unlocking the enormous private sector investment to the rice value chain. This also led to an increase in national output to over 9 million metric tons.
Seeds variety with refund that has potential to deliver over 8 tons per hectare. This pilot program should be commenced in 2022 dry season, and it has the potential of being the game changer for the rice sector in Nigeria. Your Excellencies, sir, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all of the achievements I have highlighted above would not have been possible without the leadership and vision of President Muhammadu Buhari. And Your Excellency, please, he deserves a round of applause. These accomplishments also show that with the right leadership and vision, we can meet any and every challenge in our country. COVID-19 has shown that we cannot rely on imports, and hence we must chart our own path to attaining self-sufficiency in our basic needs as a nation. And this must become a preeminent preoccupation going forward. Your Excellency, in closing, we have other events like the unveiling of maize pyramids by the Maize Association and the unveiling of inaugural rice pyramids in South-South and Southeast zones lined up for the year. We will surely be beckoning on Your Excellencies out of your busy schedules, sir, to grace these events.
We have our smallholder farmers that became committed after the launch of Anchor Borrower Program in 2015 in Birnin Kebbi, the rice state. They became committed and they said, we voted you and they will support you. And they will carry out your instruction that we should go back to farm. Mr. President, those smallholder farmers today, despite all the challenges, despite all the insecurity, the banditry, the flood, the kidnap, the drought, they became committed, and that is why you can see all these pyramids here. Mr. President, some of those farmers has gone. We are only interacting with their children. Some of them are in the hospital, but they keep on going to the farm to produce for Nigeria to eat. Mr. President, those farmers deserve appreciation. Mr. President, the association also that became committed that work hand in hand with the Central Bank of Nigeria to make sure that we carried out your instruction that we must produce what we eat. The association deserves commendation. Mr. President, there are committees that we constituted, and they came up with what you can see here in collaboration with the Central Bank of Nigeria and the presidency. Mr. President, they deserve commendation. There are commodity associations. We have 74 agricultural commodities in the country. They all team up with us to make this event a reality. Those agricultural commodities deserve commendation, Mr. President. Mr. President, I want to briefly inform everyone of us that is here that at the beginning of every cropping season, Central Bank finance a lot of farmers in different commodities. But in rice, which is my sector, I knew that if they finance 500,000 by the cropping season, attached to every hectare, Mr. President, there is somebody who will supply seed. There is another person who will supply water pump. There is another person who will supply fertilizer. There is another person who will supply herbicide. There is another person who will supply knapsack sprayer. There is another person who will supply planting. There is another person who will supply plowing. There is another person who will supply land preparation. There is another person who will supply empty bags. There is another person who will supply harvesting. There is another person who will supply threshing. There is another person who will supply aggregation. There is another person who will supply transportation. Your Excellency, if you put this number together and attach it on a hectare, it means by the time the Central Bank finance 1 hectare, 13 gainfully people will be engaged to that one single farmer, making it 14 times 500, which becomes close to 3 million every cropping season. And we have done this over 6 years. Mr. President, you can see that in rice alone, every cropping season, about 5 million people under the rice alone have been engaged.